Guys got it? All right, hard work on three, sprint to the next spot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hard work. Sprint to the next spot. Don't walk. Get there, get there, get there, get there.
What is up, guys? Welcome into the Phenom Report Roundtable. I got Jeff Bendel, Jamie Shaw, Rick Lewis. I'm Miles Mastrocola. We had a great event today, Carmel Christian MLK Day Showcase 2019. Jeff, immediately, I want to hear your thoughts on the first game of the day.
First game of the day?
First game of the day.
Chapmanville, Liberty Heights. It was a very exciting game. Chapmanville out of West Virginia. I mean, I think that's probably one of the most exciting teams we've seen all year. They play with pace, they move the ball, they space the floor, and they let it fly. And I think that's part of what's so fun about them.
Had we not seen that last game, I would have said the Chapmanville game would have been the best game of the day. Chapmanville Liberty Heights, because that was back and forth the whole way. Yeah,
I think we saw a coming out party for Kahari Rogers today. He was really, really, really good hitting threes, taking it to the basket, pull up in the mid range at 6'6", long. Can kind of create for himself.
He kind of carried him through the middle of the game.
He did. He had 16 points in the third quarter, finished with 26, if I'm not mistaken, and Juwan Gary was really good too.
Juwan Gary closed it out in the fourth quarter for him, I'd say. Yeah.
Rick, what do you think Juwan Gary can do in the SEC next year, considering his ability to create and attack the rim?
Well, that's a tough question because it's I think that transition going from high school to the SEC, especially going to Alabama, is going to be very, very tough. One thing that he will bring to the table is he's going to bring the effort and the energy, and he's always going to be consistent. I think the one thing he'll have to do at the next level is improve the shot selection, which I think they'll do that at Alabama. But the one thing about him is he has the length, the athleticism, and he always plays and gives you his effort.
Absolutely.
He has all the tools to succeed. I mean,
physically gifted.
Yeah, I liked his ability to create today too. I thought in the fourth quarter he showed, and while there were some questionable shots, he made them today. So if they're going in,
it's the no,
works well.
Yes.
Yeah. The key today that game was Kamari Rogers when he hit 4 straight threes in the third quarter. Yeah. He had 5 threes for the game. Those 4 threes in the third quarter were crucial.
Yeah. He was great. I thought. I like that he's putting it down the head. Coming out party.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on a little bit, Davidson Day, Lincoln Charter. Kind of a sluggish start, especially from Lincoln Charter. They're normally a team that's going to push the break and shoot a lot of threes, and they really weren't falling early on. But we saw Anthony Breland do a lot of good things, and Jackson Treadgill do a lot of good things for his Davidson Day team. Jeff, what are your thoughts on Treadgill and Breland as prospects?
I mean, I think both of those guys are great prospects. I think the bigger thing with this game was Lincoln Charter just came out sluggish, like you said, and then they were just playing from behind the whole time. Bryce Alfino, I thought, was actually one of the best players in this game on either team. 6'4", sophomore, good size, attacks the basket, defends, just does a little bit of everything. I really like what he did.
Another Team Charlotte kid.
Yes.
Today was full of them.
Yeah, he was great in Charleston too. I thought Alfino.
When we saw him in Charleston, I really forgot who he played for, and after the game I went up and I said, "You look like a Team Charlotte guy." He goes, "I do play for him." But I thought today he was actually the best player in that game. He had 17 points, and I think the thing that he does is he's going to bring it. He has the athleticism. I think he's under the radar, and I think Jeff McGinnis has a good one coming up through Team Charlotte.
Patented Team Charlotte toughness.
I was about to say, the thing that stuck out about him is what I can say about most Team Charlotte kids is that I thought his versatility on defense, his ability to defend across the floor, I think he plays a great role for that Davidson Day team, because if you notice, they don't ever play zone. Coach Ron Johnson patented the thing ahead because he always goes straight man the whole time. And the switchability that Alfino kind of brings to that is very good.
Yeah, and C.J. Huntley's another one on that team to watch as well. He's going to be really, really good.
I thought their point guard did a great job too, kind of controlling the pace of the game. I thought that he made his shots. I thought he handled the ball well. Brazel. I thought he did a great job running the team. While those others around him probably shine more, I thought he was the glue that kind of held the entire team together.
Completely agree.
And he got 8 break from the free throw line, and he hit 6 free throws in the last minute and a half of the game to seal the game.
There you go. That's what a point guard needs to do. Moving on to the next one, Moravian Prep Concord First Assembly. Moravian Prep, so they played 2 games today, and they dominated both of them. And I think that speaks to the toughness that team brings, and we saw Josh Hall do Josh Hall things. What are your thoughts on him and that whole Moravian Prep team as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh really, took another step in the development today. I mean, he's another guy that's going to be in the discussion for top 5, top 3 of the 2020 class in North Carolina. I mean, he's a special prospect with unbelievable offensive gifts and natural size and stuff.
I think exactly like what you're saying. I mean, he's legit 6'8". He might still be growing because he has, barely has hair on his legs, high tailbone, all that stuff. His dad's 7'1". But I think his ability to shoot the ball really separates him from other prospects that are 6'8". He's got a little bit of ball skills. He needs a little bit of strength. He's a very fluid athlete, but he can really shoot the cover off the ball. And at 6'8" and that quick release, quick trigger, all that stuff, I think that really sets him apart from other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He finished with 28, had 6 threes, had 23 at halftime. I think he had 5 threes at the half. And I think for a 6'8", 6'9" player, he's as smooth and fluid as any player I've seen, and his ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter. I don't know if anybody in the country has 6'9" size that can shoot that well from the perimeter.
That's true.
I mean, we wrote a month ago that, I mean, the three-point shot for him was like a layup.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
I just think the next step for him is he has to get stronger. And like I was telling Coach Love, he just has to learn how to take it to the rim with authority.
Yeah,
he needs to just go into the rim. He just needs to throw a few down on the opposing team and just mix it up a little bit and just get a little dog to him.
he's got that vertical athleticism to do that too.
Yeah, he does in the length and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of a forgettable performance for Concord First Assembly, but Garrett Hines showed that he is.
Yeah, Garrett Hines and Trey Benham both kind of did their thing today. I thought they, they're both just tough guys who play tough, both confidence-wise and game-wise. Benham's got that flamethrower, and Hine actually showed some interior ability today. We're usually used to him on the perimeter, take off the bounce, shoot the ball. He actually put it on his back, back to the basket, and finished around the rim. That was very good to see.
There was even a couple where he threw it back, got it back, and then still made his move. I think people should start buying in on Garrett Hines.
I think he's a buy now guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the size will come, but he just is severely underrated.
Yeah, I mean, his coach before the game was saying mid-majors all over Miami of Ohio, Charlotte, all those schools were buying in on him in the last couple of weeks.
That's good. That's good.
You should start to see offers coming soon.
Yeah. Moving on to the last game, probably, I don't know, one of the 3 or 4 best games I've seen all season, period.
3 or 4 best games in North Carolina all season.
All season, without a doubt.
I would say GDS Piedmont Classical ranks up there too.
Yeah, absolutely. But we saw Independence knock off Carmel Christian, and Carmel Christian came into the game 23-1. We've seen Independence have a couple hiccups earlier in the year, but they showed why they won the state championship last year and why they might be contenders to win it again this year. Jeff, I'm going to start with you. You talked a lot about Rajon Milton and what he did. Speak on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played an integral role to this game. He came out and hit multiple threes to start. His first quarter and his overtime periods were really what kind of put him over the top. His playing time was a bit sporadic in this contest, but I mean, he was there when the big moments mattered. He's kind of able to play both guard spots with alongside AJ McKee. So we saw more kind of in an off-ball role, just scoring when his team needed it.
I think Raja started off great, had a lull, and finished great.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I'll tell you, it was an interesting matchup, too, between him and Miles Pierre, because those are 2 absolute stone-cold guards that I feel like in the States, where it's just like, if time's coming down, you want the ball, kind of them to get the ball in the half-court set to make plays. And I feel like Raja just made plays today. Miles had a little cramp issue at the end of the game. Had he not gone down with that cramp, the game might be in a different situation. But I thought that was a very interesting matchup within the game there, was those 2 guys, because they're both, they're both stone-cold type players, and they make plays with the ball in their hands.
And McKee is arguably the best on-ball defender in North Carolina.
I don't think there's an argument there.
Yeah, well, you might be right.
I don't know if there's an argument there.
Well, that's maybe another discussion. And as we wrap it up, the other one, if Matt Smith continues to shoot the ball like he did today, look out.
Yeah.
Look out.
I've always been high on Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be another phenomenal get for Murray State.
Yep. Team Charlotte teammate Chico Carter had no there with him.
He kind of sneaks in there and just makes plays. I thought the matchup between him and D'Angelo Epps was going to be very interesting too, and it ended up being there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Team Charlotte earlier too, there was about 8 Team Charlotte guys in this matchup too.
Yeah.
It lived up to it.
Yeah.
And shout out to the student sections. The student sections of both schools were off the charts.
Awesome.
And they stayed in it throughout the game. I mean, the game ebbed and flowed throughout, lead changes all throughout the game, and I thought that the student sections both were great.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not often that you see 2 Charlotte teams of that caliber. One's the state champion and the North Carolina Public School 4A versus the private school champion.
Yep.
And I think that's what fans want to see. They want to see the best teams play each other.
I wonder who's the mastermind behind organizing such an event.
No, it was an unbelievable show. And hey, and shout out to Charlotte too. I mean,
they proved me wrong. No,
the gym was packed. I mean, they had to lock the doors for a minute and let it simmer out and then have people come back in. This is the second time we've had an event at Carmel Christian, and both times it's sold out to capacity.
Yep.
With great atmospheres and unbelievable games.
Absolutely. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We will see you guys again soon.